Welcome to an actual guide on how to complete Psycho Sniper. No BS, let's get straight into it. Welcome back, Raiders. We're about to get stuck into one of Tarkov's most infamous quests, the Psycho Sniper. Now, this Psycho Sniper guide is going to be factory based. I will be releasing another one for Shoreline because I prefer to do mine on Shoreline. However, I do acknowledge that factory might be easier for some people. We are going to run the infamous AXMC, which is currently sitting at 225k. I bought my one from Jaeger because the ones you'll see on the market are slightly damaged. However, I do not believe that's going to be an issue for you. You do not have to have them unlocked at Jaeger to purchase them on the market. With that said, we're going to be rocking the Razor scope. This is because this is my favorite scope, okay? And I've put all these other scopes here that I'd recommend. Pick from these your favorite or your most comfortable scope to use, because we're going to be aiming to one-shot people either in the chest or straight headshot eliminations, okay? As for armor, if you've got level 6 to run this quest, I would recommend running level 6. However, a level 5 front plate, if you want to be really efficient with it, is all you need. I would recommend, if you're going to factory, to wear a ballistic face mask, because you're going to be running into people that are doing the SR2M test drive quest and pistols. Now, you could put an Alton on if you really wanted to for that extra protection. That's completely up to you, but this should be more than enough. Or if you want to use your Death Shadow with any helmet of your choice, I would recommend the Flux helmet. That is also fine as well. Now remember, when sniping, we're not going to be tanking too many bullets. We're going to be using the element of surprise and some really cheeky god spots. Headsets, use your preferred headset. I use the GSS-H. I find it just to be the best for me, and it's one of the cheapest headsets going. You're not even going to need a backpack. We are not going to be on a looting expedition here. This is purely quest driven. That, like, you have to lock into your objective. Even if you kill the most chaddest of chads, do not risk yourself losing when you're on 4 out of 5 kills by looting somebody, okay? Make sure you've got ample money. I'll be releasing a money guide soon, so stay tuned for that. Let's go over the ammo we're going to be using really quickly. I would obviously recommend Magnum 8B. 79 penetration goes through any armor in the game, and it one-shots to the thorax. Now, the stomach and arms hitboxes, it will blow them off, but it won't kill a PMC, okay? Use as many of these rounds as you can. I'd recommend using 5, assuming that you're going to hit all 5 of your shots in the top mag. So how that would look like is, if you got FMJ, put 5 there. Put 5 FMJ in the bottom. Now, whatever you load first goes to the bottom of the mag, then top up with AP. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you've got your first shots with your best ammo, followed up by what I'd recommend if you haven't got AP is FMJ. This has a penetration level of 47, which will penetrate pretty much level 5 armor, everything up to level 5 armor. And I believe it might one-shot level 6. I haven't done enough testing on this, but this is a very reliable round to one-shot people with, because people aren't running level 6 in factory very often, unless they're doing that one quest where they have to kill PMCs with the 4 armor and the Kiver attached. Very underrated round, and I'd recommend using as much of this as possible. If you're doing a load of runs and you're dying off cooldown, you're going to have to resort to the UCW, which at this point I'll just rather run M80A1 with our sniper rifle that is recommended from our Shooter Born in Heaven videos. Go check out that for the loadout on that real quickly. I'm not going to do like that loadout here. I wouldn't even bother using TAC X. It's pretty much a useless round. I mean, it's got great bleed stats, but just avoid this at all cost. And in fact, as a sign of protest, see you later, buddy. Now, let's dive into the factory, guys, so we can get this quest guide on the way. All right, Raiders, let's get stuck in. Firstly, I'm going to show you the god spots. God spots are spots in the map I prioritize and get to as quickly as I can for the most safest and effective kills on my Psycho Sniper run for factory. So here we are. I'm not too sure what the actual call out for this particular spot is, but over there is medical tent, and on the other side of this wall here is the forklift spawn. And over here you can snipe from down this corridor or the bridge as people come up from gate 3 and kill them. Boom. Or we can, what I like to do, jump over this wall and kind of sneak away around up on the rafters. Staying here in particular isn't recommended. And if you can actually reach these little stairs over here, this is where I'm going to secure most of my kills. Let me show you why. Firstly, I can crouch, covering this area of the map. And Factory is a map where people aren't really ratting around. People are trying to get on here and do their quest as quickly as possible because they're mainly PvP quests, right? So we're going to be able to hear people running under us here. And the only place you got to look out for, really, is behind us over here. So if you see someone running up around here or has spotted you, quickly run over here. Either crouch and try and take aim and shoot them wherever you can get an angle on them. Retreat to bridge, or simply retreat down to gate 3 and extract. I'm going to assume that, like, if you've got 4 kills out of 5 and somebody spotted you and he's like an absolute Chad and he's not a pistoling, you're probably going to be best off retreating, right? Just do not risk. Trust me, after my many thousands of hours playing Tarkov, do not risk it on some stupid BS, okay? Extract or jump over here. And you can go to the bathrooms, right? And then we can head to the extraction down there, which is actually going to bring me to our second god spot. Now, this is a bit ratty, it is a bit campy, but we are playing a sniper role. This is an extraction over here, guys, that players like to use quite frequently. Now, I don't really advocate extraction camping because, you know, it should only be used in content creation for purposes only, right? I suppose we could all agree with that. But if you just sit in this room, you cannot be breached from the other side of this door, so they can't get you from anywhere in here. Very unlikely that people come in this room anyway. But if you just sit here, hold this corner, and wait for people and sound cues for them to actually get over into this extraction, all you got to do, aim in, slow walk over, boom, tango down. Be careful if you're going to peek this on a duo, because obviously once you kill the first guy, the second guy is going to look at you and probably swish you. Just something to consider. Okay, Raiders, now I'm above gate 3, which used to be the main exit in Factory. Some old heads still have muscle memory and still extract at gate 3. I am on the rafters above gate 3, and this is where you've got to plant one of your cameras for your Kappa quest. Now, I actually don't mind being in this spot too much for 2 reasons. 1, because I can see people coming out of this doorway. 2, there's a lot of cover, a lot of obstruction to my left. So if you're like running across the map, you are not going to be looking up here like for any type of reason. And it kind of blocks me off from the bridge. The only problem with this, though, I will admit, is that if people do come out and you don't swish them immediately, you are going to get pinged. This is going to require some trial and error. However, I believe for the trade-off of it being a super decent spot where you can get some really sneaky kills, I'd recommend it. Okay, Raiders, now I'm going to show you guys what I do off of certain spawns. We are now at gate 1, aka forklift. So we're going to exit the forklift as quick as we can. Take note of glass hallway. That's glass hallway down there. And like I said, our strategy is to be up in the rafters. So I typically risk making a lot of noise here. I do not jump over here and peek medical tent because people will be looking up here to swish your backside off, right? So we're going to run all the way down here on rafters, and we're going to kind of covert movement maxing over here. So we're going to keep an eye on that door, keep an eye out for sound cues, take a peek around the map. Is anyone else on these rafters? Kind of get an idea where everyone's at. And this right here also is one of my favorite spots. This is so underrated because if you know someone's coming around here, you can swish them, take the chance. If someone's coming around from glass hallway side, you're going to be able to hear them. And if you stand on the stairs, you're obscured just enough from pretty much all angles. You just got to be careful behind you, etc., like we've gone over already. Same thing if you spawn at gate 3, you're going to come out, go all the way up on these rafters, go to this platform and get here, get some info and figure out where everyone's at. Alternatively, you can go towards the exit camp down there if you really wanted to. If you're spawning at gate 0 side, you're going to come out of the gate 0 up onto the rafters again. I'm pretty sure you guys are noticing a pattern here. You're going to utilize these pillars here to get some information on where everybody is at. See, the good thing for us right now, whilst doing Psycho Sniper on Factory, we don't necessarily have to be moving around a whole lot. But if you're getting pistol kills, if you're getting, for example, your M44 armor quest done, or you're eliminate any targets with your SR23M, whatever it's called, the submachine gun, you've got to be moving around all the map. Us, we don't necessarily have to be doing that. We just got to collect our info and execute accordingly. Now, if you spawn at gate 5, which is across from the medical tent, again, same thing. Get up into the rafters, get some info. Maybe use this as a little bit of cheese. Watch the person for med tent. Get them. Boom. Job done. I typically like to rotate over here sometimes, actually. This is not a bad idea for trying to trap someone at medical tent. Take a quick peek, see what's going on. People love to come from forklift into medical tent. Check it out. Bang. Keep a lookout for, we're just going to call that top of bridge. Keep a lookout for top of bridge over there. And like our god spot near gate 3, we have a little platform over here to keep us covered from many angles and keep our obscurity up. All you got to do if you're going to take this route is make sure that the person spawning inside of medical tent is clear and gone. Otherwise, if they're still there and they're going to sneak out, look at the cover I've got right now. I don't have much cover at all. Same thing if you spawn underneath top of bridge. You're going to go up to the top of the bridge, vault over, or like peek forklift to see where people are going, then make your way to the gate 3. And now if you spawn underground or in the offices, I'd recommend going straight into the offices, into the bathroom, potentially getting on that exit camp and just waiting for players to hopefully cross your path. This isn't a run and gun operation. Psycho Sniper can actually be quite difficult. Take your time. It's not about running and gunning. It's about getting your 5 takedowns and then getting out. This quest resets upon every single death. And with that said, Raiders, my strategy for this, you can go for your full 5 kills on factory if you really wanted to. However, I get my first 3 kills on factory and then I actually switch it up to shoreline. And that pretty much covers all of factory, Raiders. I would recommend heavily doing 3 kills on factory like this, going over to shoreline to secure your last 2 remaining kills. You can play shoreline a hell of a lot more safely and slowly, conserving your kills, playing out your lives than factory. Factory is a bit hectic. Yes, you can get your Psycho Sniper done super quick this way. However, the risk is exponentially higher. And you know, once you're on that 3 out of 5, once you're on that 4 out of 5, you're going to be sweating. Your palms are going to be sweating. The adrenaline's going to be kicking your ass. At that point, I'd recommend going over the shoreline, having a look at the guide I'm going to post up about doing Psycho Sniper on shoreline there and implementing these 2 strategies. However, if you're confident enough to just do factory, please feel free to do so. Now, Raiders, if you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. I'm releasing content on everything Tarkov. Leave us a like and put something in the comments down below. Maybe a spot where you'd like to go onto factory to get your kills, or how have you done Psycho Sniper? I'd love to know. Like, I don't even play woods. I imagine loads of people do it on woods, but that's a bit too not my style, right? Anyway, Raiders, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Actually, Raiders, after I got done recording that video, I tried to do Psycho Sniper again, but only managed to get 2 kills. This proves the practice. I didn't even see him. No noise, no nothing. But that's a great work in practice, though.